Hey, what's going on, everybody? Justice 7 here from the original chapters. Today we're talking about take your cape off, all right? And really what it's going to help you becoming really just managing how to really protect your energy and not come off salesy when you're wanting to go ahead and prove that you can deliver the value, but doing it in the right way, okay? This is a deep dive we did right inside my Facebook group called Original Chapters Marketing over on Facebook. And if you haven't already, make sure to click the subscribe button down below to make sure we get you plugged into all the future content we got going. But for now, let's get to it. Take your cape off, right? Take your cape off plus proper questioning, right? So I really kind of want to hit these topics heavily here. Let me go ahead and I got the blue lights on. Let me get rid of this for now. And really we're discussing just how to not overdo it when it comes to coaching prospects, right? On top of that, really how to go about prospecting in a more effective and practical way as well there. So I want to give you guys some really quick pieces here to deep dive and really, like I said, quickly implement into your business there. So if you're here watching live, you already know the deal. Drop that hashtag live, drop that hashtag happy Wednesday, drop that hashtag whatever day you're watching this. I'm just glad to see that you're here watching and want to give you that value right off the bat here, right? And of course, hey, no love lost if you're catching the replay. Drop that hashtag replay. And let's make sure that you go ahead and catching these gems while I'm dropping them, all right? Like I said, usually you guys know I like to be all, go all in with the presentation. Like I said, great to see you here at Samson Live. But I want to, like I said, keep this real direct for you. So like I mentioned too, obviously, hit that like button, hit that love button. You don't have to hit the love yet. If you want to go ahead and get, wait till you get that value, I'll take it. But hit the like button at least for now, and we can hit that love button when you feel ready. I want to go over a couple quick housekeeping we'll call before we dive into it. Number one, last training I did really was a sales training, 29 minutes. And really, I can't even believe this. It was a month and 4 days ago. I literally, that's why I said it feels crazy that I've been away from lives in the group for a month and 4 days. I had to go back and check because I'm just like, how long is this? Must be the longest streak because it honestly feels like it. Last time I went this long of a gap, I checked it out because I had to know. December 30th to like February 3rd or 4th, I didn't do a live, and that's 2020, December 2020 to February 2021. So it feels good to at least, if there's a lesson there, consistency in your business, right? Even today, my stories on my profile there, I was dropping some stuff that I did a year ago. I was flashing some $90 commissions I made. It's like a lot can happen in this game if you allow it to, right? And really just stay consistent. So obviously taking practical tactics into your actual strategy, into your game plan is going to help that, but really just make sure. So like I said, drop the hashtag live in here too if you guys are here watching live. I'm seeing people jump in. I love it. I got some good stuff for you here. Really, and in that training too, we really broke down my units framework, right? My unit sales framework there. So that was a really good one. Really how we use this in our business in order to just effectively and quickly, most importantly, quickly, I would say, craft an offer that's just really gonna be most beneficial to a prospect and increase those conversions, right? That's what I'm teaching the clients. That's what I'm really making sure to hammer on so we can now be productive with our time, right? Be productive with our time because a lot of us here are working a 9 to 5 when you're getting into this. So how can you go ahead and move that needle forward without having to worry about all the nonsense, right? Great to see people dropping those lives there. Hey, like I said, hit that like button, hit that love button. I want to make sure the rest of the JFM community's out here catching this because I got some good stuff for you guys today. Like I said, I'm coming back from a sickness, but I'm feeling 100% now. So maybe you can hear it in my voice. I just feel ready to go. I want to do a deep dive today, but I'm really going to keep this a lot more just on point and try to just be very direct today instead of I'll save the big on presentations like I usually do for another one, but give you guys a treat for jumping on here live. And really in that last one we did really was just audience, right? I focused on the audience side, branding, lead generation, strong qualifying process, and a sales process to match. And really kind of that sales process A to M, and then the back half, really the unit section there. Really what I kind of call the N to Z. So like I said, that's a really good one to check there. But no, great to see people live. Oh, Mamie, great to see you. Mark, Calvin, I love it. Like I said, let's go ahead and get to it. You guys know I'm impatient. I want to go ahead and jump right into this here. As I mentioned today, we're discussing really just how to not overdo it when it comes to coaching prospects, right? And really just how to go about prospecting in a more effective and practical way. Like I said, honestly, I wanted to deep dive, but today I just want to keep this really direct, to the point, and I'm happy to open this up to some Q&A if you guys have some questions, of course, but let's just go ahead and get straight to it. So when it comes down to it, what do I mean by coaching mode, right? I'm talking about take off the cape, right? And I mean this, I say this in a way to be playful, but in reality, it's the truth. I think that a lot of times, and I say this because I've had conversations with my own clients about this, where it can be very effective, right? A big part of frameworks that I even teach revolve around returning value. At the end of the day, if we're not returning value to our leads, to our prospects, it's going to be extremely difficult, right? You think about it this way. When you go ahead and you make your offer, there's the value that's given. And then on the back side, there's, there we go. Looks like, let me see if it's frozen here. Oh, if it looks like Facebook's messing with us, I'll let you guys, let me know in the comments if you can still hear me. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going strong here. So like I was saying there's two sides to it, right? There's the value on the left, and then there's the actual price on the right here, right? So now you really have to be able to make sure that you're effectively delivering enough value so that the price is actually what they want to see, right? So that the price is something that actually makes sense at that point. Because if you go ahead and you haven't returned enough value, or at least like I'm going to show you today, more specifically how you can just deliver value in the right way, that's what's really going to help it out there. Okay, there we go. I see Mammy says she can still hear me. That's what I'm talking about. I don't know what Facebook's live is trying to tell me. They're like, I see blue circles, but as long as you can hear me, we're good. So like I mentioned there, as long as you keep this in mind going into it, you have to deliver value to the right extent, but past that, you have to make sure that you're not going overboard. And I'm going to tell you that right now, because reality is you have to give value, because realistically, when you go ahead and you name that price tag, we talked a lot about the high ticket side here. You name a price tag, whether it's $100, $500, $2,000, it doesn't matter what it is. You have to make sure the value matches up. Because if you're able to, I'm talking right now, this could be in Messenger, this could be over the phone. It doesn't matter how this is getting delivered. You just have to now make sure that either way, the value is matching up with that actual price tag. Because otherwise, that's when people will say, I don't have enough money, I don't have this isn't convincing me enough, XYZ, right? So with that being the case, we gotta really make sure that we are delivering that value in an effective way. All right, so first and foremost, I don't want to downplay this, but I want to now that we've made this part aware, now that you actually understand what we're talking about when it comes to really just demonstrating the kind of value that we have to do, understanding when to pull the curtain back, right? Understanding when to take that cape off when you need to. Because in reality here, a lot of people are going ahead and they're going a bit too deep. And this is where I talk about to my clients where you have to return value, but you have to make sure that you're not going overboard because of a couple key reasons I want to say. And when I said go overboard, that can mean different things to different people here. That's why a lot of the times when I talk about it, it's more of a mindset and a psychology you have to go into. You probably heard me say before, I don't love the idea of just the term scripts and pieces like that. It's more so a framework. It's more so how are you going about it in your business in an effective way, right? So when this is the case now, you want to understand how do you go about doing this? Now, instead of the coaching mode where you're kind of going overboard, when you do the overboard side, realize this here. You're now giving away too many light bulb moments, right? You're now giving away too many light bulb moments to the point where you're really educating, returning that value. And now you've gone ahead and go too far to where now the client says, not even the client, the prospect, the prospective client now believes that they have enough information to go out there on their own and make it work, right? Now they believe because you've opened up and you've brought all these aha moments, these light bulb moments to the table. Now, down the line when you make your offer, they say, you know what? I think actually I got what I need. This call was really helpful. I'll pass on the $2,000 offer. Let me just take what I got learned today and implement it. I think I'll be good to go, right? We need to, and this really leads to the next piece, but really, like I said, just let that sink in right there, because at the end of the day, number one, and this is why it's all a balancing act, right? Number one, you have to be able to return value. I'm not going to tell you that you shouldn't. And even the idea of being in coaching mode, like I like to say sometimes, is powerful, but you have to do it in the right way, right? And you have to not overdo it. And I think that a way that people overdo it, this is going to be a good tip to really make this more effective for you, right? Really going around and becoming a good listener, right? At the end of the day, becoming a good listener is what's going to be most powerful. And this is where people have been knocking it out as far as clients in my program, or just in general, leads that I'm talking to that are just people in this group, right? Giving some tips here, then I'm seeing them run with this stuff and it's working so well here, right? Becoming a great listener, and this matters for so many reasons, right? Now, I'm going to talk probably in future lives about how It's going to help your offer delivery, which I talk about in the units framework there even more so. But really, it's going to help out just when you hear a strong pain point. So many people, when they hear a strong pain point, they hear it and they brush over it, right? They hear it and they brush over it. So now, when that's the case there, how are you going to go ahead? That's what comes back to being a good listener. A lot of people just want to talk when they're in Messenger, talk when they're on the phone. You have to be a good listener, and you have to not skip over these. Because when you're a good listener, for one, it's going to allow you to hear these deep pain points, and then kind of come back with what I call piercing questions, right? Come back with really skilled questioning that now is going to, this is where that value can be that much more imperative, instead of just dumping education on them, right? Instead of just being in constant coaching mode with that cape on, right? Understand that the power of really piercing questions, right? And really skilled questioning can be so much stronger than just value dumping them in a messenger conversation or over a phone or however you're having this conversation, right? Understand the way about doing that. And so now how you can do that effectively, you have to be a good listener. And this is obvious stuff as far as the good listening, but I want to show you the whys behind the good listening. It's like, yeah, everyone knows you got to be a good listener, right? Hit the like button if you think that, you have to be a good listener, right? At the end of the day, that's not what it's all about. It's about what you do with that, right? Plenty of people are good listeners. How are you going to go ahead and use that in a way that's going to benefit you most? And the way that's going to be, one of the two, is by showing your true expertise, getting in coaching mode by asking the right questions. This is a skill that in this space right now is highly overlooked. And it's more so about, I'm going to follow this script today. My mentor gave me a script. I'm just going to follow this script. And I'm just going to go ahead and ask these questions. And then I'm going to make my pitch, right? Like I said, the problem with that is when you're stuck to the scripts, you're not thinking about the framework. You're not thinking about the psychology and the mindset you have to be in when you're inside of a messenger conversation, when you're inside of a sales call, when you're actually one-to-one, which is the most precious time. I used to say all the time, high-ticket sales are born in Messenger. It's like, if you don't understand that aspect of your business, you're going to drop the ball heavily. And when I say Messenger, usually for me, I'm talking about Facebook Messenger, because I'm heavily on the organic side of Facebook, but even bigger, I'm just talking about one-on-one interactions with you and the prospect. So really keep this in mind when it comes to coaching the prospect. Don't go all in when it comes to coaching out the gates. Understand that what is more important, and the reason that you're even trying to wear this cape of coaching power the entire conversation, is that honestly you're just trying to show that you're someone who can help them. You're trying to show that you're an expert in your field. You're trying to show that you're an authority. You're trying to show that you're sharp as a tack, so they go ahead and pay you when it comes to that offer you present at the end, assuming that there's someone who's actually qualified to fit it, right? This is your goal when you're going through. That's why you're in this conversation 9 times out of 10. Now, understanding that, knowing your goal, right? You've heard me talk about principles, strategies, tactics, right? You're using the wrong tactics right now by going too heavily in coaching mode and wearing that cape, whether it's in Messenger or wherever it may be, and you're just spitting information there. Let me know if this is making sense. Drop a value in the comments. Let me understand. I just want to make sure this is hitting home for you guys. Understanding that overdoing it on the value is, you see it as helpful and it can work, but truly listen to this. What most is important is learning how to do those piercing questions, right? Those skilled questioning is something that people are going to honestly overlook day in and day out. And what that's going to help you next is when it comes to delivering that offer, right? Like I said, it's the why behind it. You're so focused on coaching mode that now you're cutting people off mid-conversation. You're so focused on in coaching mode that now you're going ahead and just, like I said, interrupting them, spitting a bunch of stuff that they don't care about, right? Listen to what they're saying and go ahead and now actually package this offer up. And it's going to be so much more effective on that side there, right? So, like I said, I could have gone very deep and I want to do something super intense on this, but I just want to drop you guys off with a couple nuggets here to just implement in your business and go hard with. Because I'm certain that if you keep this in mind, think bigger than the script, think bigger than just the words you're saying, and really listen to what they're saying and package something that's perfect for them, right? When you do this effectively and repeatedly, you're setting yourself up for success as opposed to just wasting your time, right? Thank you, Mark. Right? Value. You have to listen to get this stuff here, and the only way you're gonna do that is by listening. And then when you hear these strong pain points, that's what I mean by the skilled questioning. If you want an example here, right? Hear a strong pain point. Someone tells you something, and this is another key point as well, right? Someone tells you something extremely painful. Maybe let's say you're in the weight loss, and they're telling about how they're having such a tough time because they've gained 15 pounds over the last 2 weeks, and they are just struggling with it. Now you go ahead and you feel like, let me just go ahead and give you some value on how you can fix that over the next month, right? That kind of soft selling right there, showing you can help, is not as beneficial as you think. Because now the conversation is shifted away from them being emotionally in the zone, right? They're being vulnerable and they're telling you this. Instead of that, now you're going ahead and you're getting into sales mode a bit too soon. Take a step back, analyze. Sometimes I'll literally even pause for a minute or if it could be a messenger, maybe a minute or two, but if it's on the phone, a second or two, right? Really make sure they're done talking, because I don't want to miss a gem that they drop me off that I can now apply in my offer, right? That now is going to make it a natural sync to the next step, right? So that's why I want to take that time to pause and then ask a directly related question based off what they're in. They're in the moment on what they're telling you. This is why when you're not a great listener, you don't see these parts in the conversation. You're so focused on value. Pay attention when those light bulb moments on our side, we realize this is a core pain for them. Let me dive deeper into here. Let's sit here, right? Instead of changing channels like I'm doing the entire conversation, let's stay on this channel for a while, right? Let's stick around through the commercial breaks, because this is really some gold that now I always talk about too. I think that I mentioned it earlier, where people just sometimes whether in Messenger especially, they can be really quick to just pull the trigger as far as getting their offers out there. On the phone, I would say potentially even more. This is reality, where they just go ahead and 10 minutes into a call, they're already talking about how their courses can benefit them, XYZ. When you do that, I know that you haven't executed on what I'm speaking on today. I know that you haven't done your skilled questioning and you're asked those piercing questions that's going to get them to be emotional. The call should really have a feel where there's excitement, and then you get a bit deep into the weeds where maybe some emotion comes in. And then by the time you present that offer, you throw up that alley-oop for them to just dunk it home. That's when that excitement kicks back in, right? And if you don't follow this process to a certain degree, like I said, I'm not talking about follow your script A to Z. I'm talking about follow this framework, this psychology of the conversation. Because when you get those deep points, when you hit home on these, everything changes. Everything changes. How many times have you been in a situation where you tell somebody, hey, I can help you. I can make this happen for you. I can do this. Like you've told me a couple of pain points. I'm qualified. I'm certain that this, and you know what? My course is the best thing for you. Let me listen what I just said there, right? I know you listening probably have said this, and either way, just think about that. You tell someone, my course is the best thing for you. How many times have they heard a variation of that from so many other people? So now what's the question that comes to their mind? Who's lying to me, right? Are you lying to me? Because I just talked to Sarah. I just talked to Weston. I just talked to Johnny. All these people also told me the exact same thing. So who's lying? So now what I want to challenge you today is really not tell them how your stuff is best for them, right? Once again, and this is why getting out of that coaching mode, take that cape off for a bit. Leave the cape on the ground, right? Let the cape breathe, right? Maybe you need some kryptonite to take that cape off a little bit. And really understand that you need to get them to believe in you without you telling them you believe. And these are so many things are simple that I like to talk and preach about. At the end of the day, it's the execution of that is so much harder than you want to give credit for, right? So really just think about this. Focus in on really getting the pains out of them and show that expertise in a different way. I always like to say, I like to drip. I like to drip when I'm in coaching mode more, right? I don't want to give the whole bag away. I don't want to give away all the sauce, right? I gotta leave some sauce in the pot. The family needs some of the sauce too, right? Make sure that you're just giving enough and you're asking those right questions that show that you care, right? At the end of the day, I always say this too, 9 times out of 10, support is the best part of your offer. What does that mean? Take that to a deeper level. Support is the best part of your offer because, and the reason it's going to work, because it won't work if this isn't dialed in, is because they believe that, one, you can help them, obviously, or else this conversation would be happening. But two, they believe that you actually care about them. Why would they want support from somebody who doesn't care about them, doesn't care about whether they actually get something moving here, right? If once you lock these things in, I'm telling you, this stuff will, like I said, hey, I told you don't hit the heart button before, but if this is hitting home a little bit, hit that heart button there in the live here. I want to make sure this is hitting. And really, like I said, I didn't want to go too deep because, as you can tell, I'm passionate about this stuff. But in reality, let me know. I can see some more people jumping on too. So you guys definitely checked some of this stuff earlier on. It was, I'm telling you, take off the cape a little bit. Take off. And as you can see, I put the thing almost to like take a shot at coaches in the industry, but I'm not taking a shot at coaches in the industry at all, right? What I'm saying is get out of that coaching mode when you're in it, right? When you're actually talking to prospects so much, and get more into helping mode, into listening mode. This is going to work tenfold for you, because now, like I said, in the offer delivery, it's going to pay off. Some of you weren't here when I was first talking about it, but when I first did, when you're making the offer, there's two things that are a must, right? That there's the value and the price. If that value is not high enough, the price is going to not matter, right? The price is just going to be too high for them no matter what. Because if they can't see how they can, especially in this MMO niche, this make money online niche, this affiliate marketing niche, if they don't believe that there's going to be a ROI on it, why would they buy from it, right? You're not showing them enough. You're telling them a bunch, right? And I understand too, when it comes to the pitch, that's when you should be talking the most, right? During the first 80% of the call, be a listener. Be a listener and understand what's going to help them the most, right? Pick out the areas where they're struggling and let them talk, right? What I was getting to before was, at the end of the day, how many people I could say that too, but let's leave it to you specifically, because that'll hit home more. How many people have you told, my course is the best thing for you, right? Some variation of that, all right? If that's the case, that's not going to work. And it can work. Once again, you're probably thinking, Justice, I've done it before and it worked. All right, well, it's not the best way to go about it. The best way to go about it, what is going to be more effective? You telling someone that your course is great, or they come to that realization themselves? It's a no-brainer, right? It's basically a rhetorical question here. It's the latter, right? At the end of the day, and now you're probably wondering, how the heck do I get somebody to do that? Go back and watch this live again. Right? I'm telling you here, be a good listener. Listen to what they need. And then it makes it a no-brainer there. So like I said, I'm going to end my rant for today right there. But any questions, feel free to drop them in here. I see people dropping a value there. Like I said, drop that hashtag value for those of you who didn't drop it before, and hit that like button, love button, and drop a question if you need. I'm here for you. I got another place to be in about 4 minutes. So feel free to fire them over. I'll wait a second here. Yeah, as I mentioned, as I wait for any comments to pop up, in reality here, it's a psychology more than anything. It's a mindset more than anything. That's why I don't like to use the word scripts, and I like to use the word frameworks. Because this is what's going to get you to the next level of your business. It's not knowing word for word what somebody uses in the day-to-day situation. I've seen people use scripts and absolutely just blow it. Absolutely blow it, because they're just so focused on boom, 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 sale. And that's not how it works. It can work, and honestly, at the end of the day, it has worked for people, which I would say is honestly even worse. Because now they're believing that in their head, this is the way to do it. It's worked before, and obviously I've said it before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But how well is it working? Comes back to knowing your numbers. That's why I use a KPI tracker in my business. I want to know what those key performance indicators are on a daily basis to make sure I can move my business forward and focus on that 20%, right? Yeah, it worked for you a little bit of the time, but what's worked for you the most? Dial that in, right? So like I said, I don't see any questions here popping up, but I see a lot of value. So I think with that being said, hopefully this hit home for you guys here. And man, I can't believe it's been so long, honestly. And obviously, too, if you guys got any questions on this topic, whether you're here live or watching the replay and you want to talk personally, drop a hashtag CAPE. I'm happy to have a conversation on this. like I said, I do have to go in a couple minutes here. I'm going to go now because I don't want to show up late. So with that being said, appreciate you guys. Mark, I'm glad you like this live here, Mark. Appreciate you guys being here. Keep taking action. One thing I got it written on my board here all the time, whether you've gotten results or not, you could say with this next line, I'm going to say to the people who have gotten results right now, don't get complacent. Don't get complacent. Don't think that you already got it. You already got it, right? Like I talked about. Don't think that you already got the sauce, so you're all set. Continue growing. Continue educating yourself. Continue diving into this stuff. Stop looking for tricks. Stop looking for tricks and look for the stuff that really works. That's why people so much talk about, I'm going to try and leave it on this. I was always so mind blown. People always talk about, oh yeah, make sure you exercise because that's going to help your business. Make sure you're drinking your water because that's going to help your business. It's like, what the heck does that have to do? I'm here to get this money. I'm here to make some sales. I'm here to quit my 9 to 5. I'll tell you right now, it's all these other little things that you aren't paying attention to that's slowing you down. And I don't say that to be harsh. I say it to really just, because realistically, I know that a lot of you out there are thinking about these pieces I'm telling you about, but maybe pour a bit more into that bucket than you are, right? Don't leave that on a quarter tank. Fill that sucker up so that now you can go ahead and explode the rest of your business. All right. So like I said, great to see you guys here. Woo, month and 4 days. I promise you won't be like that. Don't be surprised if you see me live here again this week. But at the very latest, I will see you next week. And obviously in the group, you already know I'm around every day. So keep up the hustle, keep up the grind, and I will see you guys next time. Like I said, love it, love it. Keep up the good work. We'll talk later. Hey, thanks for watching this video all the way through. Make sure you go ahead and like this if you got a ton of value from which I hope you did. Subscribe to the channel and absolutely go ahead and join us in our Original Chapters community. Links right down there in the description. And as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. I'll see you later.